The most effective IP strategy is the one that is aligned well with the business goals of a company. IP is a valuable asset strategy that requires investment in terms of money, time, and intellect. In reference to the Namibian context, what do you want to protect? When you want to protect something, you can apply to register a technical innovation, which we refer to as patent. You can also register a product name, which we also refer to as trademark, or you can also register the shape of an object, which we refer to as a design for protection. Why is this so important? The set of measures is important because it is formulated and implemented by the government to promote and facilitate effective creation, development, and management of IP. It also outlines how the developed infrastructure and capacity to support the inventor of the IP to protect, develop, and exploit their invention. IP protection in Namibia is secured through 3 levels. The first level is the national level, and these are trademarks directly protected in Namibia, and it is done through BIPA. And this trademark protection is only required in Namibia. The regional protection is when it's in multiple countries, and then this will be required, and this can be done through HARIPO and the Harare Protocol. And the third one is the international level. At this level, when protection is required in more countries than the covered countries by HARIPO. For the implementation process, one has to understand how the IP strategy is developed, and it is helpful to understand how the corporate OODA, the strategic theory of John Boyd, is used. The OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. In the observe stage, we observe the current state, the way things work. We see what the issue is, the opportunity analysis, and definitions. In the orient stage, we look at the future state, we look at the root cause analysis, we do a SWOT analysis, and here we have a scope and requirement. And when it comes to the success criteria, we need to think SMART, and this is to be specific, measurable, assignable, realistic, and time-related. And for the deciding part of this, we look at the current state, we look at the roadmaps, options, going forward, recommendations and solutions, client consensus, and authority. And in the act phase, we look at the place, issues resolved, opportunities, and then lesson learned. Any natural person or a company can register a trademark. Registration requirements would be a complete trademark registration form, 4 printouts of trademark, power of attorney, prescribed application fees, and a list of goods and services for the trademark, just to mention a few. What qualifies for registration? For registration, a signed symbol of business identity. A trademark may consist of a device, label, name, signature, just to mention a few. You can file for an application for national trade at BIPA or HARIPO for regional marks. International trademarks can be done at WIPO. An inventor or assignee of an invention can apply for a patent. What is required for a patent? A request of the prescribed form, declaration, and power of attorney, a copy of the published international application, just to name a few. A patent must be something that is novel. Applications can be filed at BIPA. When it comes to the branding process, we look at the research analysis. Here we look into brand audit, competitor analysis, internal analysis, and customer research. We then start looking into the branding strategy. The branding strategy mainly consists of understanding the business, understanding the audience, the competitive positioning, the creative development, and the brand evaluation. In the branding strategy, we look at understanding the business. We look at the missions and visions of the business, its goals, and the environment of the business. And then we look at the audience. We try to understand the audience. Here, we look at things like beliefs, values, behaviors, and segments. And then we look at the competitive positioning. In here, we look at the cost, the focus, and the differentiation within the business. And the next one, we'll be looking at the creative development, and then the last one is the brand evaluation, where we look into audience awareness, internal alignment, and business performance. In the brand design, we look at things like environment, the direct response, the online multimedia, we look at advertising, we look at the printing, and then we also look at the architecture. In the brand process, we also look at brand assets. There are hard assets and then there are soft assets. When we talk about hard assets, we talk about patents, copyrights, and trademarks and licensing. And then the soft assets, here we usually refer to awareness, reputation, experience, strategies, identity, the position, and the equity.